Okay. All right. Let's get it going. Let's see how we do today. I don't think I'm going to do very well, but that's okay. We got this. Oh, not the sound to stop. Okay. Welcome to the party. It's your boy, man. Welcome to the party. It's your boy, Mountain 10. We're back again for another day of Path of Exile. Nope. Just joking. We're doing last Epoch. But on the note of Path of Exile, which is interesting, I completed the first act of Path of Exile 2. Now, I would also like to point out that most people don't realize this, but they have been hot patching the heck out of Path of Exile. And when I mean that they've been patching, they've been patching. I mean, they've been patching. Because the game was really was not playable where people were enjoying themselves. So what they've been doing is they call these things hot patches. So they released 0.30, and then they within the first day they hot patched at at 5, and that hot fix was fix the instant crashes. Then at 6 they fixed some other things, which was you know let's just go over the different things that they did. Let's just figure out some. These are just hot fixes that they did. Let's just try to determine if they did anything that was major or anything like that. So this is hot fix 2. Temporary disabled demon fire, ember full sage skill effect, microtransactions due to crashes. Fixed the Wraith Aura, was not guaranteeing added additional lightning damage. Fixed where the slow debuff for water is solitary confinement was not affecting slow potency. Fixed a bug where minions from skittering stone support were not visually moving. Instant crashes as well. So that was hotfix 2, and that was 6 hours after the stop. 7th hour, the next hour they got hotfix 3. Where Raging Spirits was not being triggered by elemental weakness. Fixed a bug where checkout in hunting grounds would sometimes trap players blocking environmental doodads, and some more crashes. That's 3. Now, within 50 minutes, they had hotfix 4. Fixed it where the abysses and errors that spawned 2 or more pits required you to kill too many monsters before the pits open. Okay. 1 hour later. You see what's going on here, right? An hour later, they got another hotfix. Fix a bugs where characters in standard were unable to access the Ziggurat refuge if they gained access to it before 0.30. So there's something that happened where they had to retrofit some actions. Not even 20 minutes later, they got a hotfix again. The boss of the evacuation area in Act 4 no longer just randomly instantly kills you after doing the wall skill sometime. So in Act 4, they that popped up. So this is all within a little short period of time. Hotfix 7. Hotfix 7 pops up at 11 p.m. They got this. The Prince now deals approximately 30% less damage from most of its abilities. Then let's go ahead. That's 7. Hotfix 7. Let's go 8. 8. This is all in the first day now. Temporarily disabled the unique item Fairgrave's Curse for dropping until we can fix a client crash caused by it. That must be the shield. That must be the shield thing that they were talking about. We cannot allow this to drop because it's causing people to lock up. So that was all in the first day. The second day, which is a Saturday, they got 2 hotfixes. Hotfix 9. You see the hotfixes are getting bigger. Fixed siphon elements are incorrectly starting level. Fixed lightning warp. Missing tag. Grim feast that could not be engraved. Wardrobe decorations. And all these other things. Devouring Diadem was causing people to crash. And, I used to love the Devouring Diadem. I'm not going to deny. Devouring Diadem and I, we go way back. So 10 is on the same, same thing. Do you see? There's a lot of instant crashes things at the bottom of these things. I just want to point that out, right? So they just been fixing crashes of things forever. Now, yesterday they had 2 more hotfixes. Instant crashes. And then last but not least, boom, here we go. This is the final one that they did yesterday, and this did not cause instant crashes. I will point out this was the only one out of everything you saw. This is the only one that says, we don't have crashes in our client. This So that was 12. That was hotfix 12. Now I'm waiting to see exactly what they plan on doing to get rid of anything else that's popping up because that's a lot of hot fixes. Let's just be honest. That's a lot of hot fixes. Within 3 days, they had so many hot fixes that they couldn't even that at one time it was the first day it was every hour on the hour. Hot fix, 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 hot fix. That's 8 hours of work, people. They were. This thing is terrible. We gotta do what we gotta do. That's what happened. That's what happened. I'm just happy that I got my cloak. Now I would have been on earlier today. Hold up for a second. Let me go check. My coffee machine's broke. So I got to do something. So, I'm just happy that I was able to continue to play and beat the boss to get my cloak. I got my cloak. Everybody, I got my cloak. For those of you who don't know, shift F. Oh, wow, that's actually interesting. Gotta get my lightning blast. There we go. Let's see, that's ringmaster. Collection versus my lightning blast. It says get rid of everything. So here's the difference is. All right, mine's doing good. Mine's doing good. Or chatter items. Let's just go. Let's just go, cause I got things I gotta do, people. I got things I gotta do.
I cannot do that.
That came from something. What I'm wearing? What am I wearing? I got Weaver. I don't remember putting on Weaver last night, did I? Did I got something with Weaver? Ooh, I know what it is. It's that ring. It's the ring. That's right. Okay. So I put the ring on just because it's not gonna necessarily be.
cannot.
Here we go, people.
I cannot do that.
Really? Didn't get hit with the explosion.
I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
Give me haste, people. Give me haste. There we go.
I cannot do that.
This does give you haste, but I don't know if it's gonna give if runic invocation is gonna work the way I want it to. It still seems like I gotta stop cast that particular thing.
I cannot do that.
I don't know if that's gonna work for me. And you know, it's not that it's anything wrong with it. It just seems like it just doesn't seem like it's gonna give me what I want. So I was thinking about using that particular runic invocation for to get me around, you know, moving me from place to place. But I don't think that that'll work for that. I have to use it in a different fashion. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's gonna require me to think about it differently. I was like, oh, I can do this, and it'll help me walk around and kill bosses because I can move faster. I could clear instances a lot quicker, etc. But I don't know if that's going to be exactly the way it's going to work out. I don't know if it's going to work out. If I use it, it kind of stops me for a second, but I do get that nice long run. I got to figure out something to give me more haste. Board. And there we go. Boom! There we go. You should be dead. There we go. Ooh, yeah! I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Runic invocation. Cool down. 16% cooldown. That takes us to 10 seconds. Oh, hold up. Flame Ward needs to be modified a little bit. Flame Ward needs that extra fire damage. Because Flame Ward is still a very vital part of the build.
So many years spent researching and theorizing what may lie within these walls. And all
I need to get to level 35. Why do I need to get to level 35, everybody? I need to get to level 35 so I can get this What's up? Hey, how's it going? How's it going? I'm doing pretty good. Just enjoying myself, enjoying a little last Epoch, trying to get myself through a hardcore run, which I'm not gonna have happen. Oh, no problem, no problem. So you play a little last Epoch, or you just was searching around stream looking to see if you can sell some art? By the way, I was just lurking and came across your stream. What other games do I play? I play Path of Exile 1 and a little bit of Path of Exile 2, but Path of Exile 2 needs some fixes before I actually get into it now. There's some serious issues that I just can't deal with right now. But I play RPGs. I also play turn-based games, and sometimes you'll see me online like playing like Project Zomboid or one of the survival type games. You know, those games are always fun to play. You know, the survival one, like Warheim, Beat Rising, and things like that. No, I don't stream often. This is a hobby. This is what I call a hobby or something that I do just a pastime. Not like something I'm gonna be, you know, doing on a regular basis. I don't really plan on building my stream either. Just FYI. A lot of times I get that, hey, you want to build your stream? No, don't. Building a stream would require me to actually want to stream on a regular basis and things like that. I got a job. I don't even see this as an income. I see this as just me doing just me being online so I can be social with people. I like playing video games, and there's people that like to talk about video games, and I'm one of those individuals that will stay and talk about video games. Like we were just sitting there just a while ago, you know, I was just talking about PoE and how many hot fixes PoE had within the first day. First 2 days of PoE running, they had they're on hotfix 12 right now. That's how many hotfixes they got. For the first 2 days, I was calling this a refugee camp for PoE streamers or for PoE players.
I cannot do that.
I thought it was funny. I know other people probably weren't thinking that it was that funny, but it was. I mean, do you know how many people were sitting there irritated because they were irritated with? I know a lot of the normal hardcore streamers for PoE, they're not even playing hardcore right now, or PoE 2, or PoE. They're not even playing hardcore. They're like, I can't even do this. So they're playing softcore. Kind of funny to me. Where you think you're going? Gotcha. Cool, cool.
I cannot do that.
There we go. That's beautiful. Let's go. Let's go. That
I cannot do that.
If I don't mind what? Giving you my Discord, it's inside the about. I love these bots, boy. The AI bots are just fantastic these days. What's up? Thank you for the follow, Sakura. Thank you for the follow. Yes, I am missing a lot. I would need to doggone stream more often. I also would need to. Hey, what about you, buddy? I'm doing good. I'm just dealing with a bot. Dealing with a bot or dealing with somebody who is paid to go into these streams and uh tell them, hey, I got graphics and I sell graphics. It's one or the other. I just don't remember which one it is. Yeah. They're an artist, or they're an artist or they're a bot for an artist, and the funny thing is, as soon as they come into the stream, I'm game developer. Other than that, I also do graphic design. See, told you, told you. The first thing that comes in, you'll either get a follow, then they'll say, "Hey, how you doing?" And then they'll be great. And then you'll sit there and you'll start talking and stuff like that, and then it'll keep going. They'll keep on going because they got a script they got to follow, which is I will do all these different, these things, make you feel good and everything like that. Then I'll ask you for your Discord. Normally, it's asked from a Discord first. Then they were like, "Hey, you mind if I send you some stuff in Discord so I can, do things and stuff like that?" And I'm like, whatever. It's inside the thing. The link's inside my bio area, or you can go ahead and join all you want. I'm not worried about it. And then after you get to that point, now during this whole conversation, I tell them, yeah. So dealing with people that have to, I tell them, hey, there's people that are trying to sell me stuff. I'm not trying to expand. I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to buy anything. This is a hobby. This isn't a job. I have a job, and I say this right off the bat. So if it is a human person, they actually go, whoop, and they drop. If it's a bot, the bot continues down its process. Yeah, it's hilarious, dude. It's hilarious. And somebody said, "Why do you talk to the bot?" I said, "Because to me, I'm just talking. It don't matter. I mean, eventually the bot will get better. They'll get better bots, so they'll realize that, hey, if they say these particular things, I know I'm not gonna get any graphics shown. I'm not gonna get any graphics. This is just a waste of my time." So the keywords that these bots should trigger on is hobby. This is just a hobby. I have a real job. Things like that. Understand? You have Insta and Twitter where we talk about it? No, I don't have Insta and Twitter. Like I said before, I'm just a lowly old guy who has a regular job, who comes on the Twitch to stream the games that he likes and to socialize with people. That's it. That's all I'm on here for. So back in the day, you used to have what's called MMORPG. Massive multiplayer role-playing games, right? So that's, and in those games, you used to have your guild, you used to have a Discord, or you used to have back in the day, it was TeamSpeak. That's what we had. Yeah, TeamSpeak or Mumble. Mumble came out later, but it's TeamSpeak, and y'all used to talk online, used to play video games together, used to do all these things, right? Well, that kind of died down in the later years, because mostly people want things handed to them these days, right? So we used to sit there and use like like an example is World of Warcraft. Example of World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft used to be so much fun until they made it so much easy. They made it really easy. And where the problem came in is when they got rid of the socialization.
I cannot do that.
Because in World of Warcraft, you just pretty much play by yourself these days. A guild is kind of there, but it's really just play by yourself. Because you can tag in and jump into raids, jump into things and everything like that. It used to be that you used to have to be social with people, so you could do those things. And then you would sit there and you would do those things, but then it just became particularly changed. But let me see what this bot's saying. So you have any platform where I can share my portfolio of my work with you? Nope, don't have anything. Majority artists is from Asia, like India, Pakistan, or Bangladesh, with a fake identity. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm not really worried about it, but it's just, socialization is, we're dwindling on being able to socialize and to have discourse with people. Because you remember when you used to, I don't know, maybe you don't. We used to play video games back in the day, like, back like when you were playing in World of Warcraft and stuff like that. One of the things World of Warcraft used to do is, and you had a lot of guilds that broke up and stuff like that because people couldn't get along and stuff. But one of the things that used to pop up always for World of Warcraft was you had to have the ability to be able to get along with people that you don't like, or get along with people that that wasn't necessarily 9 seconds. We're getting down there. Wasn't necessarily the people that you would like to hang out with. So you had to learn some type of social skills. You had to learn some type of social skills to be like, okay, I'm gonna be able to deal with these people kind of. Yep, I think you are Indian sucker. Either way it goes, yeah. So that's what it used to be back in the day. You used to sit there and you used to be like, okay, I gotta socialize with people, right? Well, since I'm old school from back in the day, I still have that mentality. I still want to socialize. I still want to get along with people, and discuss things that aren't necessarily like discuss things that aren't necessarily in my wheelhouse. So, like, I remember there was this guy at work,
cannot do that.
right? And so this guy at work, we were sitting there and we were talking. Now, you're not supposed to talk about politics at work, just FYI. They tell you not to talk politics at work. Why they tell you not to talk politics at work? Because people get upset, right? So what happens is we're sitting there, we're talking. Yeah, scammer. So what happens is, let me get back to what I was talking about. So what happens is the following. We're sitting there and we're talking about different things. And there's this bill, right? And he didn't think that I would actually know what the bill said. Because most individuals, they stay on their side of the aisle. They don't talk to each other. They don't understand, things like that. So there was this bill that the governor was trying to put out in Florida or something like that. That was called certain people tried to call it the "Don't Say Gay" bill, right? And so when you hear that particular nomenclature, "Don't say gay," it automatically triggers something in your brain. It makes you go, "Oh, these people are discriminating, blah 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 blah, for a certain type of people." Um, Me, it didn't even phase me. I was like, okay, well, cool. Let me go see what the bill says, right? That's kind of messed up, you know. So I went to go read the bill. That bill doesn't even do or say what people were trying, just what they were putting out on the news, what or but taking that nomenclature. And so what happened was, he was sitting there and he was like, "Oh," he was surprised because I like to, I like to read, I like to find out information and stuff like that. So he was sitting there and he was like, "Oh, dude, I've never seen that before." I was like, "Yeah, that's because these days nobody wants to research and read for themselves. They wanna have somebody tell them TLDR it, TLDR it for me." TLDR, but most people don't realize TLDR. All that does is a TLDR is just, hey, this is my take on it. I'm gonna shorten it. I'm gonna shorten the information on the things that I think are the most important. And so that's why when somebody said, it's like, no, you got to read these bills. You got to do. I remember there was this back in COVID ended, right? Back when COVID ended, there was this petition outside of the stores where I'm from, which was they were trying to get the extension for alcohol delivery done, and they were making some claims. And y'all are gonna love these claims. So they were making claims from this alcohol, the alcohol thing. They were making claims that, oh, our alcohol delivery, we need to continue the alcohol delivery because we have less drunk driving and everything like that because people are delivering alcohol to their house, blah 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 blah, right? JFKD. I don't know what that means. Oh, he's out of the chat. He's not around no more. He's just gone. What does JFKD mean? I don't know what that means. But back to what I was saying. So they had this thing. They were saying that alcohol delivery is lowered the amount of drunk driving incidents in the county, et cetera, et cetera. We need to sign this into law, right? And I'm sitting there like, well, why would we want to sign this into law? Tell me, give me the reasons why, right? Then they showed me some statistics. And I was sitting there and I was like, when was the statistics gathered? And they gathered the statistics during the time frame of COVID. The time frame of when nobody was leaving their houses, The bars weren't open, people couldn't go to bars, things like that. So they had gotten all that data and they got it during that time frame, right? So when you sit there and you think about it, it's like,
I cannot.
Really, guys? Y'all are spouting this information you're spouting this information, and you're doing it from the time frame when nobody was on the road. You know, nobody was on the road. So how in the world are you telling me that delivery of alcohol was responsible for less people getting into car wrecks and stuff like that and drunk driving? And we need to support delivery of alcohol if that's the case. You know what I mean?
I cannot do
Cause I found that like it was just hilarious to me that that's what they were spouting. Then I told them, I was like, hey, you know what you need to do is you need to get a better statistic configuration because this statistic is flawed. You're taking a time frame of when nobody was on the road and saying that alcohol delivery was the reason why nobody was getting, there was no drunk driving incidents, or there was less drunk driving incidents. I was like, you need to change that up to the time frames of
After
when
eons
people
on the
were
road,
actually on the road again.
three again
And when the bars had started opening, et cetera, because this law that they were trying to get broken into that said, hey, it's going to be forever.
The epoch is forged.
It was during a time frame. It was like, it stayed a year after everything, right? So I was like, after the bars are head open, did y'all did y'all take the statistics from after the bars were open? Was there a significant increase in drunk driving? If there was a significant increase in drunk driving, we compare that to before COVID, not the time frame of COVID, before COVID. Is there an increase or a decrease? Because let's just be honest.
And show her the epoch. The rest will be up to you.
So if there's no difference between before COVID drunk driving and after COVID drunk driving with deliveries, if there's no difference, then why would I want to put this into law? Because then people are getting alcohol delivered to their house instead of going to the bar, which is going to lower the bar, or not, which is going to take away from those individuals that are, take away from those individuals that are that's their livelihood. A bar is their livelihood. You got to get people to go into the bar. Oh, hold up, my coffee. I'm sorry. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. But what we were talking about was the guy, that guy and the petition that they were selling. I don't mind the petition. But if you're gonna give me information, you're gonna sit there. Don't sugarcoat it, make it different, so that don't misrepresent the information and the data. That's what got me. I was like, you misrepresenting that data.
Yes? Stay safe. I see.
Hey, this got Weaver's Will on it. Oh. Attack and cast speed increase? Oh, you know I gotta get just because. Oh, hold up. Close that. I gotta put that one. Oh no. Wrong one. What is it? Nope. I don't want that one either. If. Oh. Is it just right click? There you go. Just right click. No shifting. No shifting. Just right click. I'm sitting there like, hold up. How do I get this thing to shift? Uh-oh. Ran out of inventory. Ran out of inventory space. I got too much of the too many uniques. Probably all the same ones too. Let's make another unique tab. Confirm. That you or rarity, unique and legendaries. Confirm. 4, 2. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now when I go here, boop, look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. Goes right in the spot. Right in the spot. Bam! Got it. Ah. So, where were we? Oh, so that's pretty much my days dealing with bots on Twitch. what we got here. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see what we got here. What did I get? I got some fire resistance. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. More faster attack speed. Faster attack speed. Woo-hoo, way to go. So let's go ahead and get this going. Get this going. You know what I need to do is I need to go to Walmart today. You want to know why I need to go to Walmart today? Because I need to get me a new coffee maker. My coffee maker is just not working anymore.
I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
So hold up. Before I do that, let's see what we got here. Get that 30% chance on hit. That gives me more spark charges I can put on the enemy. There we go. And then on the next one, it'll be how much damage spark charges do. The cooldown for runic invocation.
I can
There we go. And we're moving, we're moving. need to get better single target. It's terrible. Right now, I've just been kind of working on just been working on trying to get certain things in place. Had to get that spell damage increasing as soon as I have a chance. That's one good thing about lightning blast. You just gotta go and boom. You know what I haven't done in a while? I haven't played D4 in a while.
Yes? Gods be with you.
Oh, up north. Sorry, I was about to go south. Hmm. Ah, it's the claw. I'm just gonna go for the claw.
cannot do that.
I just wanted the claw just because the claw was awesome. Okay, so let's see. That takes me down to 9.1 seconds for a cooldown. See, and then let's see here. Cool. There is only some other, only other cooldown things that they got is this one. You have a three rune. When you have a 3 rune and your combination of rune changes without casting an invocation, runic invocation remains cooldown as reduced. Okay, so now that doesn't work for my character, and the reason why is because you guys need to know is I'm using this right here, which locks in my rune configuration. My rune configuration is lightning, fire, lightning right now because of the things that I have in place. Now, with that being said, I can't use this one because my runes will never change. Every time I cast an elemental skill, it's going to be the same no matter what, and it just will never change. So this does not help me at all. So putting a point into this one would be a waste. The second one is here. Whenever you directly cast an invocation, you blink to the target location first. As a cooldown invocation, this all automatically targets a random nearby enemy. Runic gains a transversal skill. So in other words, you get a kind of a teleport to where you're going. And then it adds a cooldown to you. Nobody wants that. We're trying to lower the cooldown on our stuff. So then you got these, which is runic energy and things like that. When you directly cast runic invocation with at least 12 runic energy, you also proc a random equipped a non-channeling skill. This is cool, but this can be a problem. And the reason why I say that is it works out very well for me because what happens is, or it could work out well for me depending upon. That means I wouldn't have to execute ward anymore. As soon as ward is up, and if I'm jumping forward or if I'm going to a thing, then then boom, guess what? I get that. That automatically is going to give me a ward or a thing, and it would trigger all of my powers. So the things it would trigger is static shock, ward, and whatever I have in the first thing. So I would have to get a power that actually did kind of damage, right? And then you could actually do this one where you teleport. But then you would have to come down this way and grab some of this other stuff so that when you're jumping forward, you start using some of your leap forward on cast. You'll start using some of that what's it called? You'll start using more power configurations to be able to do what you're trying to do. But this is going to be accumulating of energy. I wouldn't use this at all. This accumulates energy, and every stack of energy you have gives you something. This will get you more energy stacked. This is chance to repeat per energy. So runic invocation now has a chance to be repeated per stack of runic energy. So this is actually, when it does happen, it's actually pretty cool. So this one, you gain runic energy for every second that you have your 3 runes up. Now, we have some other things that we could do, and these are the things that we could look at and everything like that. You got elemental penetration, so you get more penetration from what you're doing. This one, runic energy, has increased speed. When you directly cast runic invocation, you gain ward equal to a portion of your current mana. That's just more, faster speed casting for your runic. This gives it area, more area of effect when you use it. This gives an ignite chance per raw, elemental penetration and area, and then invocation has a chance on other skill use. When you consume runes with a skill other than runic invocation, you you have a chance to also cast the corresponding invocation for those runes. So there are some powers like I think it's rune bolt. There are some things like rune bolt. Rune bolt can't you can use rune bolt to consume runes. Where's rune bolt? Right here. There's a way to rune bolt runic invocation. There's a way to consume with rune bolt. When you consume with rune bolt, that one that we just saw actually does it. It actually it'll kick off because you consumed the rune, and that's what you're trying to do with that one. I have done multiple different configurations of this build. I usually go with rune bolt, and the reason why I go with rune bolt is because I like the little tower rune bolt thing that pops up, the stone that you generate, and they shoot runes, and then you're shooting runes, and you're getting generating your runes, and then you're doing your rune bolt. One of the things that I think we are going to have to do with this build in the near future is change my power. Why do I want to change my power, you say? This I don't think is going to be as beneficial as I thought it would. It's cool. It's cool, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be as beneficial. So what we need to do is we need to find another rune combo. And so what rune combo do we want, right? So there's this one that I always use, which I think is probably for me, I think it's the best one. And I've used it like forever. So we would put this there. We would put that there. And this is the one that I like to use. I've always used it. It's always the one that I enjoy. Is the tri-beams. It's just, the tri-beams to me is like the best one out of all of them. Because you can sit there, I mean, tri-beams, Trinity Elements is what it's called. All right? And creates a 3-element beams that rotates around you. Added spell damage applies to 250% of effectiveness per second for each beam. And the cold beam has 100 freeze rate per second. So the tri beams, I just like the way it feels when you use it. What other ones could I use? I mean, let's just be honest. What other ones can I use? If we look at all the ones that are lightning, you have the Grand Prisma Nova, which it sounds good, but I just don't like it. And what that one is lightning fire code. So let's change this to lightning. So we can put static here, fire ward there, and then that there. So when you do that one, that's it right there.
I cannot do that.
Now that one's supposed to have a ton of damage, okay? So that's supposed to well, it's supposed to have like a 600% added spell damage applies to 600% effectiveness. So it is supposed to be really strong, right? Problem is, it's a one thing. It's like boom and it's done. Okay. Um. Then there's the one that you do where it's a um an antipod. So that one is lightning. No, it's cold, lightning, fire. So let's put cold here, lightning here, fire here. So if we got that one, we do that one's really good if you go in rune bolts. If you go into rune bolts and you make rune bolts strong, then that becomes a very good one, because then what you're doing is you're throwing out this um you're throwing out that little thing, and then rune bolts are going all over the place. Now that also goes very good with so let's say that also goes very good with some of the uniques that are out there for rune bolts. So there are some items that are out there. Rune bolts have a different element. Last rune bolt cast grants you a stack of numeracy up to 5 and refreshes duration of existing stacks. Rune bolt elements always match the last skill directly cast. 5% increased cast speed per stack of numeracy. That's one of the things that you can do for rune bolt. There is also inside the tree, there's also some really cool things you can do with rune as well. But like I said, main problems I find with a lot of the um main problems I find with a lot of these the skills that they have is that they're like one big shot, boom, and that's it. Okay, so that's kind of good, but it doesn't necessarily work out for um it doesn't necessarily work out the way that I think it should. And the reason why is because you're sitting there and you've got like you're trying to take down a boss. Runic invocation is like I'm trying to take out a boss, I'm trying to do things, and I'm casting the power, and it does its thing and it's done. You know. So like with the one that I had initially. So like with this one, the good thing about this one is I'm sitting there and I'm doing this. When I cast my runic invocation, it's still doing its thing. Okay? That is a great thing because I can move. I'm still doing DPS against whatever targets that I'm trying to get. If it's a boss, if it's mobs that are around, I don't have to stop and try to make sure that all the things are dead. This runic invocation will help kill all the things that are around me so I can keep moving. Um then there are the ones like this one, which is, was it cold, fire, lightning? Cold, fire, lightning. You see that one? It's like it's a good one, and it's good for when you're running and you're moving, because you're running and you're moving and you do this, and it kind of just does damage a little bit like that on the outside. But so if they had one, that actually did like fire, lightning, lightning. Let me try that one. Fire, lightning, fire, lightning, lightning, or is it what did I say? Fire, lightning, fire. That's fire. That one might work as well. Because that one is what that does is that's like a orbiting ball, and when that orbiting ball does damage, it's going to constantly do damage. Let me read it. Let me read it real quick. Plasma orb conjures a fiery sphere that orbits you, dealing fire damage to enemies it hits. Lightning repeatedly arcs from the orb to nearby enemies, dealing lightning damage on hit. Added spell damage applies at 210% effectiveness to orb hits, and at 150% to lightning hits. Now that's different than a tri element. Because the tri element, one of the things with the tri elements that is the problem with the tri element one is the tri elements, the beam, if the beam is not on the person, it doesn't actually hit anybody. So while you're moving, you have to kind of, move around. I've gotten used to it. I've gotten real good at it. But you kind of move around to try to make sure that the beam hits the people that you're doing. Um, hmm. Let's see. Let's try playing with that one. Let's see if that how that goes. Because I'm trying to find a better um
I cannot do that.
I'm trying to find a better invocation for this build. Let's just be honest. That's what I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find a better invocation for this build. My standard invocation is just a standard invocation that I use just doesn't seem like it's going to be the one that I want.
I cannot do that. I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
still the best one to me is gonna be the tri elements. I just can't seem to find a better one than the tri element. That's just the way it is. It seems like tri elements is like the best.
I cannot do that.
It's the best.
I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
Oh, thought there nobody was on the platform.
I cannot do that.
Tri elements is still the best. You can't beat the screen clear is the problem.
I cannot do that.
Can't beat the screen clear of tri element. It's just that is probably the thing that makes tri elements like the best. Is that you got that screen clear. And what are you gonna do to you know get better screen clear? Because things on the screen and things at the edge of the screen are the most dangerous.
I cannot do that.
You are a skilled fighter. The is imprisoned
May
there.
Eterra smile upon
It's
you.
not too late.
Let's
You must
go.
rescue him before the dreadnought leaves.
Okay, I
the
need
city.
6 points in this. As soon as I get 6 points in this, this will automatically raise because it's going to be getting 12 plus 12 ward per second. This one gives us a bonus damage from crits with a catalyst. So if I'm wearing catalyst, I will reduce the bonus damage that enemies are going to be able to have against me with that, which is going to come in very handy long term. Oh, don't forget, got to get more fire damage. Fire damage. So that gives me a little bit more fire damage. This, when the next one comes in, I think I'm going to go ahead and go down the runic energy path, get this accumulation, then go over here and grab this, then get the get that. Then we'll be doing pretty good. like I said, you can't be try. I've looked. Well, there is one that you can do. It's the Hydron thing, but
I cannot do that.
gotta get more ward. Gotta get more ward, people. Gotta generate more ward. Vanish.
I cannot do that.
I still think there's an input problem on last Epoch. You can queue things. I see that, but one of my problems is the guy says I cannot do that way too often. And I know I'm not pushing the button that often. He'll sit there and he'll be like, I cannot do that. Like, why can't you do that? It's like, what is your problem? Why can't you do what I'm telling you to do? Oh. We're almost there. We need one more. One more. And then we're going to additional ward per second if we get above 60. So in other words, this is what happens. We got 12 ward per second. We are also receiving ward per second from within something that I'm wearing, and I forgot what it is. Where's the ward per second? Something. There we go. This is ward per second coming from the necklace. Now, this is gonna suck, but this is gonna be the one of those ones that's like, yeah, we should have figured it out. Okay, so this is a necklace. It's called the Invoker necklace. So this Invoker necklace goes with this set piece right here. And what that means is, so I can sit there and out of this one, chance to shock on spell hit. So right now I got a chance to shock on spell hit. So that's 50 here. That's 50 there. So that's 102 or 103. See, sorry. I'm sorry. 103. Then we got this one, which is 40% chance to shock. So that means I have a 143 chance to shock. 143% chance to shock. Now, if I put the necklace on, which pairs with the with the other thing. This is the invoker set. It's the invoker set. So if I put the necklace on, I get an increased cold spell cast speed. Don't have any cold spells on. Critical strike multiplier against frozen enemies, but he gets frozen. +1 snap to snap freeze. Okay, not really that big of a deal because I don't use snap freeze. Then, I get freeze rate multiplier. So I get a freeze rate multiplier on it. So the only thing that I'll get out of this is my tri-elements beam is going to get another 47% freeze rate multiplier. So I have on the tri-elements beam, which I didn't tell you guys or didn't pay attention to. The cold beam has 100 freeze rate per second. So it has a freeze rate of 100. With me wearing the necklace, I'm going to go from 100 freeze rate to 133. Or if I got a better one, 156 freeze rate. Sorry. So when I throw that in, my initial ward is going to disappear. I go down to nothing because I'm not generating anything because I don't have anything to generate at that time. So my ward goes down to like 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So I get nothing because I took the necklace, right? So this ring that I have here is one that I picked up. It doesn't give me anything really, so I just wanted to see if I could get some things onto it. So I have an empty ring slot. What I need to do is I need to put some ward, gain some ward configuration. So I need to go here, and then I need to find a silver ring that has potential. Well, I could not go silver. There are some other rings that I could do. This one gives me elemental resistances. This one gives me critical strike chance. So if we're going to be playing, we're going to be doing things, we might as well go ahead and go with a copper ring, a blank copper ring. We'll go ahead and throw this in there. And we're going to go ward per second. So we add ward per second. That gets me back to what I was before. Then what we're going to do here is we're going to have to go ahead and get something that's spell damage. Then we'll go here and we'll do something called crit avoidance. And then we go last but not least back to our prefixes. Now, what do we have in the prefixes that we can use? There's not very much other than intelligence. Because we got intelligence for this one, intelligence for this one, intelligence, intelligence, and intelligence. So we're going to put intelligence on this one. That increases our damage right there. So we're going to go ahead and do it again. Yeah. We're going to do this one. This one. So look, that's what we're traveling into unknown territory right here. So we're traveling into unknown territory. So currently right now, if you look, we have 8 to 9 for the ward per second. We have 53 to 63 on the ward DK. There is a so what do we want? What do we want? We want either ward or do we want the spell damage modification? So we took the necklace off was just 8, it was like 8 to 54. We're putting back on a ring that's 8 to 53. I want to go ahead and get some more survivability, so we're going to do this. Now that's 10 to 69. Much better. Much better. So spell damage, that damage, and that. We're going to throw that on. That should take us back up to 100 or something. Generate that ward back. Oh, generate the ward back. Ah, more ward, more ward, more base ward. Ah, we got base ward. There we go. The base ward is now at 141. If we put our necklace back on, our base ward goes up to 200 and 250. No, made it. Oh, we passed 250. 255, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Base ward 260. So the only other thing we get from a set bonus on this thing is you get a elemental spell cast speed. We're already casting at a really high rate. So it's not that big of a deal to kind of not worry about it. Because we're going to, well, let's just be honest. We're not going to worry about it right now. It's something that we should consider in the long term, right? We should consider that in the long term. And what I mean by consider it in the long term, it is long term wise, we should be looking into what we need to do to break these down and add them to like rings. Break down the set information, add it to a ring, then put it on the and so that happens from Weaver. So when we get into maps and stuff like that, we're going to be looking for Weavers, and we're going to be looking for the Forge one. We're going to be going through. We're going to be destroying set items that are for the Invoker, and that way we can get the capability to add them to something else. So like I don't know which one's which for these things. I think it's the shock. The shock one part from here can be added. So I get and this also, if you notice, 10% chance to gain 75 ward when you hit a shocked enemy with up to 3 times per 2 seconds. So I can get 150, 125 ward total, I think, from just casting against an enemy. Just casting against the enemy, I can get that one. All right, let's go ahead and get back out here and go do some killing. Cool stuff, man. I played during early access launch. Lots of fun. Best of luck. Oh, thank you, Corey. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry, he's probably gone by now, but he was in YouTube. So I'm generating a whole bunch of more ward now. That's how you generate ward. Look at that. I'm at 700 ward and I haven't even cast anything other than doing what I was doing before. Oh, this is ward threshold, and this is the thing. And okay, so this is an interesting one. You see this? This is a great chess piece. But the problem with that chess piece that can hurt long term. And this is one I've been trying to get, which is the mage robe, get some reflect, get some things. This one is actually good. Now, the problem with this robe is if that mana gets too high. We'll empower it just because. I want to see if it gives me, if it can raise the runic thing. I should have actually just cast it out and then sealed the mana, but the mana was low. If that mana gets too high, I won't be able to seal it. What I want to do is seal the mana and add in intelligence on the piece of gear. Then that will become a very strong piece of equipment. Because every time I do that, I'm getting 47 ward from it. You'll notice I'm sitting there around about 800 ward standard. That's 800 ward standard. You see something.
I cannot do that.
Oh, my coloring's off. Listen. Oh, that's because I was trying to make stuff with that. Shift F. Ah, come on. Need to add that till class level all the way up until 30. Really, I should take that. There we go. So Corey's been playing in early access of this. It's actually pretty good, and there's a lot of people that have been playing. Past Epoch is still one of the better, how can I say, ARPGs in where you can enjoy yourself.
Fools!
Path of Exile 1 is definitely still a strong contender. I still find this a lot more fun in the aspect of I can get somewhere with last Epoch with every one of the powers that they have. If I wanted to, I could go ahead and complete the campaign. I feel that I'm getting stronger and everything like that. Now, there's a lot of small interactions that you can't get.
I cannot.
What I mean by there's a lot of interactions. There's a lot of small interactions that you get from there's a lot of small interactions that you only get from whatchamacallit. That you get from uniques and things like that make certain powers a lot stronger. Like I haven't found now I haven't played the power yet, but I'm sitting there as like, oh, what could I do with a particular build configuration? There's a particular build or sorcerer. Sorcerer is all about eating mana. Eat mana, get better damage, right? So the higher the mana cost for certain things, the more damage you can do, right? So I'm sitting there trying to figure out, because for me, I'm like, oh, I want as little damage, as little mana usage as possible, so that I can continue to cast spells and powers when I need it. That's fine and dandy for most players, but that one, that's one that you don't want to do that to. So what do you do?
I cannot.
So that's good if it so with the sorcerer, what I was talking about is that's a really good concept if the damage output is worth it. So what I mean by that is if I use, let's say I use Meteor, and Meteor eats up half my mana, I can only cast it twice, right? So that's fine if when I cast Meteor, it wipes everything out on the screen. It's not so fine if you can't get it to wipe everything out on the screen. So these are the type of things that I'm like, is that, what should I do? Six. Oh yeah, baby. I'm supposed to get another 12 ward per second, right? Supposed to get another 12 ward per second. What I was sitting at what was I sitting at before? On ward that I would generate. Was it 400? Was it 300? What was it? Because right now I get another 12 plus 12 ward a second. So I'm generating 12 plus 10 plus 12 plus 10 plus 8. So 12 plus 8 equals 20. And you add that 10 here, that's 30. So I'm doing 30 per second in ward. So my current ward is 281. My ward retention is at 120%. All right, let's go. Let's just keep going there. My shot capability is definitely over, or is where it needs to be, because I'm definitely shocking. I'm a shocking fella. So you can see I got 10 stacks of shock on that guy real quick. 10 stacks of shock there. Is there a way to sorry. God, I could clear screens. Is there a way to make the enemy bar at the top large? And the reason why I'm asking that is because the buffs and the debuffs that you see on them, like, they're a little small on my screen. They're a little small on my screen. So I was wondering if do they have a UI scale where you can scale in the opposite direction and make the UI bigger
I cannot do that.
instead of the default.
I cannot. I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
Wow. Finally.
I cannot do that.
Get him. Get him before we get over there.
I cannot do
Up
that.
the steps.
I cannot. I cannot do that.
Let's go.
Fools! I cannot do that. I cannot do
Oh,
that.
come on.
I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
My ship will be your tomb.
Hurry and break these chickens. I'll take that as a yes. Get to the railing.
That was it. That was it.
I cannot do that.
That dude was taken down pretty easily. We got that nice and
These
beautiful.
robes are not meant for swimming.
All right,
I'll be soaked
so
for
we get
hours.
more health with this one. We've gotten the ward thing. That's exactly what we wanted. We can get this to give us more intelligence because we're holding a catalyst. But there are some other things that we need to look into, and let's look at that. Oh, that was there we go. That it? Oh, that's Blade Dancer. Oh my gosh, don't tell me I deleted it. No. I do this all the time. I don't think I saved it, saved the configuration. Let's go to my builds. Nope, I didn't save it. Ah. Okay. This is a problem. This is a problem. So what I did was, okay, so I used it. I used the tools,
Washed up safely. It's yeah. I'll
LE
really slow you
tools. That's
down.
what I use. Okay.
Go
So with
over there.
LE tools, one of the things that I tend to do is I don't save the configuration. When I don't save the configuration, I pretty much put myself in a bad position. So I don't have any of this mapped out anymore because inside of the build guide or the build guide I was creating, I was like, oh yeah, I got this, no problem. Let's build this out this way. And I built it out. And when I built it out, and forgot to go back and do, oh, let me just go ahead and make this different. So what happened is I started the build configuration and I didn't save the build configuration. So what has happened is I've lost what I told myself I was going to do for this build. So if we switch over to browser real quick, you'll notice that I'm having to go in now and rebuild the entire thing. I know I want that. I know I had this, but I'm gonna hold off on putting that in place. And in this one, we got cooldown. Mm. That's what I needed right there. So this one I'm not worried about, but this is the one. Okay, so that's what I had, I think, in my build configuration. Plus I had this 6. I might change this out. That's the reason why I'm saying I might change that out. Is it's good to have the catalyst. It's good to have the catalyst because the catalyst does certain things. It gives you intelligence, ward gain when your damage leaves you at low health, things like that. That's actually all wonderful, dandy. Um, that's wonderful and dandy, but there are certain things that we you know we might want to put in place. Certain things that could come in, be very handy, things like that. One of the things, that could possibly is like these shields. And so, like this shield right here is a great shield because it gives void resistance, 10% current mana gained as ward on block, and you have intelligence. So that's a good one. It gives you good block capability, helps you out, right? This is a relic that we got to put in place. And that relic says, hey, chant on invocation of having to kill when you use fire skills, right? So if I have a fire skill, that will proc. But I'm not using. Only fire skill I have is when a ward goes off. So the key thing to that one is you get +2 runic invocation. You get, so that's a really good one. Plus you get that ward DK. That's a really good one as well. So the relic here is a good one. This doesn't do anything for us because we're not burning any mana. Then there's these other ones. If I was spending this would be great. This is good for a sorcerer. You remember I was sitting there talking about a sorcerer, and sorcerers have this, this you must use mana, and the more mana you use, the better it is. That sorcerer thing is really, I gotta I gotta test that out. So right now, what we're waiting on is we're waiting on this, which is, or we got to get to 45. Get to 45, then we're going to be able to put in this shield or put the shield on. And what it's going to do is it's going to give us some intelligence. It's going to give us pretty good block effectiveness. It's going to give us some void, and it's going to, when we block, we're going to get 10% of our mana as ward on block. So right now our mana is not that high. Our mana is only 119. So there is things like this and this one that could enhance our capabilities. So this gives that cooldown. This gives that. This gives a health. So remember when we were in the? I better save this before I lose it. We were in here. We still got like 33 some extra points that we can go, right? So this one is a good one because that gives us more ward per second. And this one is, we have a ton of ward retention already, right? So this one gives us more damage and some more ward retention. This one gives us ward. This one gives us ward gained. So this is ward gained with elemental attacks, but we're really doing it for the intelligence. Okay. Hey, guess what? My chat got disconnected and connected back again. Did I lose connectivity? What actually happened? Uh-oh. Have I not been in chat this whole time? What's up, Rune? How you doing, man? Have I not been on all this whole time? My chat just disconnected and connected again. I don't know why I did it. Intelligence per point there. That's what we got to do. Make sure we get that. This is going to be intelligence per point. That's pretty much what we're gonna be able to do. We're gonna have to do that. I've been great. How have you been? You have a good weekend? Ah, we're a pretty good weekend. It's a holiday weekend for me, so I'm just enjoying it myself. Holiday weekend. I don't have to go. I didn't have to go to work today. I am online playing video games instead of being at work. That's the key for my. That's the key for my day. I am chilling. I'm jealous. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. We got things that, you got days off that I'll be sitting there. Well, like, what's his name? All we did yet. He sits there and he's got like tons of time where he's just chilling. It's like, really, dude? You just not working. You just sitting at the house. That man, he works and he plays video games the entire day. For a Splunk for 2 hours and we still didn't fix the DR test. Oh, Splunk, one of the greatest softwares in the world. Give me your money. That's pretty much what they say. Look, that's what they're saying. Give me your money. But that man is mad. That's hey, I'm just telling you. That's just to me. That's what Splunk is. Splunk is like money, please. Then after you give them money, they look at you like you crazy. They look at you like you crazy. You gave them money. You're like, hey, I really need to work things out. And you're like, okay, cool, no problem. Playing on company time, dang. Am I embarrassed if I take a little break? Nah, I mean, are we dead yet? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy that you can ask that much money for Splunk. Yeah, and with Are We Dead Yet? Yeah, it's crazy that dude sits there and he's like, I'm working. No, you ain't. You sitting there and you getting paid. You getting paid good money. This is exactly why companies I'm gonna tell you, this is exactly why companies get crazy. Companies lose their mind. And the reason why companies lose their mind is because they're sitting there and they're like, people aren't working. People ain't working. People are working. No, people aren't working. We need to make them work harder because they're not doing anything. And it's because they be looking and watching All We Did Yet playing video games 8 hours a day when he's supposed to be working for the company. that's that's what be getting them. That's why companies be getting mad. They be getting mad because they be looking. They pop in and be like, "That dude says he's working," and then we as other players, other people that have companies that are like, "We ain't allowing this. We're not allowing this." So, like my company got monitor software on the laptops. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Be idle for too long. Be idle for too long. They'll be like, this dude ain't working. Your browser just crashed. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry to hear that. So, but my company, what they do is they got monitoring software on the laptop. So you can have your laptop over there. You could be doing nothing, but they know you doing nothing. And then some people are like, well, what you do is you get software that moves your mouse around and does things like that. or you install that software on your laptop, they know about it because they're monitoring what's on the laptop. So you can't do that. Then somebody was like, "Well, what you do is you get like a little one of them little things that goes out and just bends down and taps the keyboard every so often, and it just taps the keyboard, make it so you never go into a sleep or you're never idle or anything like that." Well, guess what? My company, he keeps pressing comma. That's all he's doing, pressing comma every couple of minutes. I'm sure mine also has some monitoring software running, but I think it's mostly like Teams activity window. Well, Teams only tells you when somebody's idle for a certain period of time. It really doesn't check the if you're doing anything. So, yeah, they check for scripts that wiggle your mouse, things like that. Yep. Now, we also have things on our company where you're sitting there and you're going to YouTube or you're going to Facebook and you on Facebook or YouTube all day long. Blip. This dude is playing. This dude is on Facebook all day. We need to send an email to his management. They sent an email to management just to be like, "Do you know if this guy's working or not? He's he's on Facebook all day." And also to be, you know, but I also asked the manager if they do certain stuff like you described, but yeah, I'm sure they have something. Oh yeah, it's built into the images. And it's, the funny thing is I used to be in IT. Well, we call IT at most companies that I've been at, we call IT the desktop guy. And then you have your system engineers, your developer DevOps engineers and everything like that. They're different than IT. But everybody is in all actuality, everybody's under that same umbrella. Information technology. All of us are IT. But we call the guys that do desktop IT. My manager said they don't measure your work by that, but I'm sure it's somewhere if they need to justify letting you go. Oh yeah, oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's I mean, it's one of those ones. It's like, mm, but either way it goes, like I was saying, what's his name is like he's constantly playing. It's like that dude. But I mean, there are also like let's just be honest. There are people that can get away with it. Where there's lazy, there is a way. Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't think Are We Dead Yet is lazy. It's just that that man has job security and you know it. Well, like I said, I don't think I wouldn't call what he's doing lazy. What I would like to say is what he is doing is called malicious compliance. That's the term HR uses. Malicious compliance. I'm not saying Are We Dead Yet is lazy, but I mean the examples we brought up. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because malicious compliance is nothing more than and this is where it's interesting, but malicious compliance is okay. I have I have to do X, and unless I'm told to do Y, I'm not doing extra because and it's that's come around lately, um, and that's been coming around lately mainly because companies are not paying necessarily as good as they should, and they're hammering. You got to. I know you have to work. I know you have to get money, and because you got to work and you got to get money, you're gonna do what I need you to do, and I'm gonna ask you for the sun and the moon because you got to get paid. You got to eat. You got to feed your family. You got to do these things. I know you do. So, um, companies are just hammering people with that type of because they have that they know they got people over the or within a rock and a hard place. And then a lot of people are like, "Well, I'll just get a new job." Well, these days, getting a job, well, at a certain point, it's not that easy to switch your job when you get paid money. And what I mean by that is they are trying to squeeze us dry for as much as we are worth, but they won't pay full price for the limit. Yep, yep, and that's exactly what I mean because this is exactly what I'm talking about. Because what the situation is they, a lot of people sit there and it's like, oh well, I'll just get another job. How many jobs did you get? How many jobs out there? How many jobs are out there? Let's just be honest. How many jobs are out there that's going to pay you in the range that you need on on average? On average, most people make less than 60K. Not in the IT world, but most people, just talking about across the world, across the US, you're going to get 60K or lower. That's on average. It's like, and so finding jobs that are above that. So if you got 70%, but hold up, I was looking at some of this. They got these little statistic things that pop up, and it's talking about how many men are make X amount of money, right? So the problem isn't that there aren't jobs, but those jobs are being hunted by so many people that they seem a unicorn. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because so if you've got jobs, let's say like because there's like these females, there's this thing that they do like blue pill, red pill type um, dating things. Well, they did a lot of the red pillars. Well, one side of them likes to pull the statistics from census and gives the statistics. So men that are between this age and this age that make six figures. No, not gender pay gap. Gender pay gap has been debunked by like a lot. It's been debunked by so many different colleges and different things and stuff like that. But because it's kind of like the gender pay gap is just like cars that explode. You hear it so often, and that you believe it. Yeah, they try to get all the statistics. Yep, yep. So that one of the statistics is like guys that make between this age and this age that make over $100,000 a year. They fit their narrative. But that's one of the things that is it's like how many guys make over $100,000 a year in the U.S. and they give you that statistic, and I forgot what that statistic is, but it's not that large. It isn't that large. So if you think about how many people are, how many people we have in the United States, men that we have in the United States. And then you add in, no, it's more than 2%. It's more than 2%. It's now what you normally happens is they usually say, hey, it's this much, and then they add in single men, then they add in that, and it brings it down to like 2% and 1%, then 0.0%, because that's what girls are looking for. And that's the statistics where they kind of mess. They're messing with a lot of people. It's like, how many men are above 6 foot? How many of them make $100,000? How many of them are single? And ones that are fit. Okay, that brings you down to the 0.0 whatever. $18% of individuals, 18% of individuals in the U.S. make above $100,000. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, they have that little thing, and so, but one of those things that you can do is you can take that statistic data and just grab what you want, which is how many people make $100,000, how many men make $100,000. It'll give you the statistic. You don't have to add anything else. Just $100,000 or more. It'll give you the statistic, so you can milk their system to pull the statistic. Hold up. Let's see if I can find it. See if I can find it. Man. What's it called? Dating calculator. Delusional calculator. Let me call it. Let me look that. Delusion calculator. There we go. Delusion man female standard calculator. There we go. So on a man, anywhere between the age of 18 and 4 foot to 6 foot, making anywhere between $100,000 and more. Three point three or five 3.9%. 3.9% out of the 164 million men in the United States, only 6 million have a job that's $100,000 or more. All right, that's a very small amount of people. Okay, so what I was trying to find, what I'm saying is that when you get a job, when your job, let's just say you're trying to get a job and you start getting into that range of that amount of money, it's hard to find a job. You can find a job, but it's hard to find a job that's at that level. So the higher you go, the harder it is for you to find a job, is what I'm saying. The higher in pay that you make and everything like that, it gets to be harder and harder and harder to get a job. So like an example is this is why executives have these golden parachutes and stuff like that. Because the executive is sitting there, he's working, he's making millions of dollars a year, right? So the CEO is making millions of dollars a year. He goes and they decide that they want to change. They want to change. You know, we want to go a different route. We want to hire a different dude, and that dude gets millions of dollars for the break. So they get this because he's leaving. They'll give him millions of dollars, right? Why does he get those millions of dollars? because it takes time for him to find another job that pays millions of dollars. So they give him millions of dollars so he can survive until he can find another job that pays millions of dollars. That's just the way it is. You start making the money up real high, they start making golden parachutes and compensation plans and stuff like that. So when you can't find a job or have to get let go or anything like that, you have time to find a job that's going to be equal to what you're doing. That's why when I hear people sit there and they're like, oh, I'll just find another job, I start thinking about, I wonder how much money they actually make. I'm like, how much money they actually make? Because they, I'm wondering if they are actually, if they're making or getting a ton of money, or they're just a regular standard worker. Standard worker, you can find a job. Think about it: 100 and something million people are below $100,000. So finding a job in that range, it's gonna be lots of them. Finding ones in the higher range is gonna be the harder. But yeah, so that's why I think it's kind of interesting when talking to the people and stuff like that, and they're like, "Hey, I want a job," and they're looking for jobs and stuff like that. I'm like, gotta watch out. You just can't just be like, "Hey, I'm gonna get a job easy." Then that's also another reason why uh, a lot of people they go into specialized jobs. So an example of specialized jobs right now is AI programming, AI data manipulation, things like that. Oh, that's a specialized job. That's specialized. And because it's a specialized job, people are paying a ton of money for them. Because you just can't be like, oh, I'll take that Unix engineer over here to do AI programming. He might be able to figure it out, but he might not be as good as this guy who does it on a regular basis. I think this guy's going to be better, right? So let me look here. Mm-mm-mm. Ooh, I need to get idols. My gosh, I'm terrible. The more knowledgeable you are, the more pay you if a buzz or a necessary position within the company. But they will always look to have you replaced by someone younger and less paid as such. True, true. But companies are starting to learn that you just can't get rid of guys. And why I say that is there are it's becoming more prevalent. Let's put it like that. It's becoming more prevalent. It's becoming more prevalent that individuals are there, that companies are seeing that, hey, I can't get the same quality of work out of certain individuals. They're trying to. They're 2% ward retention. I'll put that in. Did that increase anything? No increase of ward retention. Come on. Really? Let me do this. Ward. All right, so every 2% gives me one or 2 points. So, what like a lot of companies are realizing that if they get rid of individuals for the lower, engineers that aren't, um, they they are starting to realize I gotta stick with these guys because what's going on is they're not getting the same amount of work. So, an example is I got an older individual. He's let's say he's in his let's say older individual, he's in his 40s. I got him working. He's doing X amount of work. I got an individual in his 30s, not doing as much. I'm paying him less, but he's not doing as much. I gotta get two of those dudes to compensate for that one dude. And so the companies are starting to realize, because back in the day it used to be, oh, just cut the old guys. Cut the old guys because they make more money. And then we'll get two guys that are lower level and they'll be able to do the exact same thing. Companies are now realizing they're not getting the same amount of work out of those younger guys. And because the younger guys are asking for just as much money, they're asking for just as much money for less less functionality, less things. They're not doing as much. So it's starting to hurt. Long term, it's been starting to hurt a lot of companies. A lot of companies like we gotta figure out how to do this, you know, and it's hilarious seeing because right now I'm getting to the point in my career where I'm actually getting a lot of information from the management side, and it's like there was this one dude who got a complaint manager. He got complained upon because it was said he wasn't hiring US workers. He's like, "Oh, he's discriminatory. He's not hiring people from the US. He's only hiring foreign people." That's what got complained. They complained about him onto HR about this, right? And I remember he was so upset. He was so upset about it too, because he was like, I don't know why they're complaining, et cetera, et cetera. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I'm all right. Doing pretty good. He's like, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm interviewing. I'm taking these people, I'm pulling these people in. I'm interviewing. Why is it that people are saying that I am not hiring US people? And so he was like, look, he was like, look at this. These are the individuals that I am getting that are applying for my position. So he showed me the individuals that are applying for the position. And I was like, ah, okay. Because when you look at it, and he was sitting there, and I understand him being mad, because he was sitting there and he was like, look, these are the only individuals that I have for the position. These are the only individuals that have applied for the position. And when I looked at it, I was like, ooh, yeah, he doesn't have any individuals that are qualified. And I'm looking at the resumes, dude. I'm looking at the resumes, and I'm like, not qualified. Not qualified. This is qualified. This guy gets qualified. This guy gets qualified. And we go through the process of looking through all the resumes and look at the resumes that are qualified individuals. A lot of them were foreign. A ton of them were foreign. Okay, so I was like, I now see where he has a problem. He has an issue where he can't, he's getting hammered and slammed on because he's not taking U.S. employees, but the only ones that applied were foreign individuals, and so I was like, wow. And then that brought back to the point of my favorite statement, which a lot of people use, and it's gone around more and more, and more people are utilizing this, and it's becoming a standard statement. It's a standard statement. Perception is reality. What you perceive is your reality. Doesn't matter what really happened or anything like that. It's your reality. If you go in to a restaurant and you sit down and you order your food, somebody else orders their food, and somebody else orders their food, and you're sitting there and you're waiting, and those other two tables get fed before you. Your perception is they're not they didn't take care of you. Your perception is you're being discriminated against because these other tables came in after you, and all of them have been fed before you. That's your perception. That's your reality. Now, those other two tables might have ordered a standard dish that they have in the back that they can just bloop, bloop, plop into a bowl or whatever it is, and bam, they're done. You ordered the special blah 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 blah. They gotta cook it up for you. They didn't have any. They gotta cut it, cook it, etc., and then it comes out to you. Bam! You're sitting there, you're like, okay, now I get to eat. But your perception initially is that these other individuals got taken care of before you did, because your perception is they're getting done. They came in after you, etc. But in all actuality, the wait staff didn't do anything wrong. The kitchen didn't do anything wrong. You ordered something that required more time. I've gone to a restaurant with my coworkers. We all go in. We sit down. We all are asking for food. I've been sitting at the table, and sometimes it happens to other people while we're at the table too. But I'm sitting at the table. I make an order, and when I make that order, I'm like, Everybody else got their food at the table. And I'm sitting there, and everybody's like, "What did you order?" I don't know. They gotta go kill the. They gotta go kill the chicken. They gotta kill and pluck the chicken or something, or they gotta kill the cow and ground the beef or whatever they gotta do to make my meal. Because I'm sitting here like, when am I gonna be fed? When am I gonna get my food? And so we've had it where individuals have come and they bring the food. Everybody has eaten. Everybody has eaten at the table. And they'll bring my food out. And the first thing I gotta say is, can I get a box? Because we ain't got time for me to sit there and eat. What's up? What's up? How you doing, Sephra? But that is crazy. But yeah, perception is reality. And it's what you perceive is your reality. Doesn't matter. Somebody could tell you something and you're not gonna agree or anything, because what you perceive is what you believe. But all in all, it's been pretty good. It's like, I think we got into a discussion the other day. It was like, yeah, are we dead yet and everything like that. The other day we were in a discussion about the winning the lottery. It's like, winning the lottery. Do you take the lump sum or do you take the annuities? Statistically, all those individuals that go bankrupt have all been individuals that take the lump sum. Individuals that take the annuities seem to survive the issue of, I've got a ton of money that I just got, that I have, and it's in my hands now. So what happens is are we dead yet? Was sitting there, and I was like, I don't know how to manage that money. I don't want to take the money into my pocket until I figure out how to manage the money.
Do that.
Are we dead yet? It's like, oh, I'm taking a lump sum. I'm buying property, blah, 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 because that's going to make me, overall, that's going to be the best thing for me. He's like, I'm going to get my money and do this. I'm like, oh, I don't know about that, sir. And he's like, nope, that's the best way to do it. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I will go the opposite route. I won't do that. And so we had that discussion. And then I was like, and then he was like, well, and then I brought up eminent domain, because there's individuals that have had housing and property taken from them by the government. And he's like, oh, yeah. So to me, my reality is the government is going to take your property if, they need it. So it's not necessarily a solid, place to put your money. But his reality, because he has never seen it happen, or it's not happened as often, he's like, oh, that's just, you're just being paranoid. And I'm sitting there like, no, I'm not being paranoid. That's just the way it is. You see what I'm saying? They can't do that over there. Yeah, that's a possibility. You know, don't get me wrong. There's lots of places that it probably wouldn't happen or wouldn't be against. Woo. This is the one I want. I'll take that one just because. But with that, you know, it's like I said, it's always about as health regeneration got sealed. Lightning poison. 51. Doo-doo. I'm gonna kill this one because hard to say he's gonna die. And this one got poison. But because of that reality, because of my reality, I look at it differently than he does. And me, I believe in numbers. Look, I'm an individual that's numbers can be manipulated to look like anything. Just be aware of that. If you got numbers, you can change them to make it seem like anything. I can make it seem like, you know, that my point of view is the worst point of view in the world just by playing with the numbers. Numbers are all about. Ooh, that's another thing. See, perception is reality. Hey, that statement back. My that's my favorite statement. It's always been my favorite statement. I've always used it. I don't know if I heard it somewhere first when I was a kid, but I've used it ever since I was a child. But just right now, just a second, that goes to my point of what I'm saying when I say perception is reality. Remember I was talking about statistics? I'm a black and white person. Look at the statistics. The statistics will tell me what I'm looking for. Well, guess what? Depending on how you look at the statistics, your perception of it, I'm looking at it this way, your data could be wrong. Your information could be wrong. Could be right, but it could be wrong. Because of how you perceive the statistics. Isn't that wonderful how it rolled back to perception is reality? My favorite statement.
I cannot. I cannot.
Goes back to my favorite statement. Perception is reality. Well, when you think about it, let's just look into this perception as reality thing. How many movies do we have that are out there in the world How many movies do we have that are out there in the world that represent perception as reality? I know of two. I know of two movies that are out or have been out or regenerated that kind of play with that perception as reality thing. I'm wondering if there's more because I only watch certain movies, you know. And I wonder if there's more movies that are out there like that because that's gonna be one of those things. So I'll give you an example. The first example is Matrix. Matrix is a perception as reality. What you perceive is reality. Doesn't mean what it is. He was in a simulation his whole entire time, but he thought it was real. Now, is that a bad thing? Oh, it's a good thing? I don't know. Let's just be honest. Are there any other movies anybody can think of that actually follow that type of concept? I can think of another one. Inception. That was a kind of perception is reality one as well. All right, the dogs are barking. Okay, Google broadcast. Julie, please take care of the dogs. To be honest, if I were to win the lottery, I would not claim myself, but look into reputable big office, big lawyer offices that can draw their fee. But I get 99% of the money, and then after taxes, I'm left with 60 to 50%. After that, I would split like 40%, but straight into an investment account that goes super safe, from which I can draw like 1.5% a year. 1.5% of a year. That's my baseline. Then from that remaining 60%, I would put 20% in an investment portfolio for ventures I would like to go into. Then from that remaining 40%, I would have 15% for friends and family, but put a contract, you got money, don't know, asking me again. Then from remaining 25%, I would put 15% into real estate and 10% of which I could spend, but will probably only touch for vacations. Ah, true. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. You could do that all with annuities as well. Plus you get the extra money. That's the difference for me and everybody else. It's like if I win, I'm going to get $17 million a year. Let's just say so, because that's where it was the last time I checked. I would get $17 million. Right now it's at $1 billion, so it's going to be more. But I'm gonna get $17 million a year. $7 million goes to taxes. I'm gonna get $10 million into my pocket. $10 million into my pocket, I can do exactly what you just said. I can get a lawyer, put the money in investment funds, do all that other stuff with that $10 million a year. And I could see what happens over the next year with that money. If the investment portfolio is, do I need to manage that investment portfolio? Do somebody else need to manage it? Is, is it going to be, taken care of and things like that? Oh, and just keep living as I am with 40% I put aside as an investment. I would have life FU money to live for life. That's true. I still would have the same thing with annuities. The only thing that is that the only thing that could happen where annuities is not a benefit is if the country goes up and and everything disappears. That's the only time an annuity would be a problem. Statistically, the probability of that happening very minute. Statistically, the probability of you going bankrupt, taking all your money and trying to manage it in the way that you're talking about, it's a high chance you will lose it because we don't know how to manage money. Would it also not stop when the company goes under? That is correct. It would not stop because what people don't understand about these annuities is a guaranteed money. It is a guaranteed money into a insurance type system, and even if that insurance type system company goes under, it's bought by another. It's a guaranteed money. So the way that it's built, you're gonna still have it. Which is why I constantly tell people I'm going to go with annuities. I'm going with annuities. It's just so much safer. It's just so much safer. The chances of the company going under, the chances of the lottery going under is a lot less than me screwing up and getting my money taken. Like I said, I'm a numbers guy. I look at the numbers. Sure, but I mean, 40% you would put into funds you can't ever touch. So I'd only be able to touch the interest. So even if you spend everything else, I wouldn't be able to touch that 40%, and the interest alone would be like $1 million. Correct, but incorrect. An example is take a 401k fund. So if you have a 401k fund, and this is at the $50,000 mark. 401k fund, $50,000 mark. You can lose $10,000. $5,000 to $10,000. That's 50K going to 40K. It's in a fund, so over time it might actually gain back money. It might, over the long run, gain back money. So you're going to get approximately. It's a possibility that you'll get 6%, 6%, 5%. If you look at if you look at the funds that have been out there right now, there's a lot of individuals that have been taking hits in their funds, even though they're not aggressive funds. So what happens is they have lost money over the year they lost money. They got negative percentages. Over the 3-year mark, because the first year they got a good percentage, the second year they got a good percentage, the third year they went under, but they still got good percentages. you're also taking money out on a regular basis, out because you're taking the interest that you're taking out is not going into the fund, allowing it to grow and grow your money back at the same time. Royal treasuries don't go down unless America would explode, right? Yeah, it's true, but it's still so that's different. Okay, so what you're talking about now is a different. So you're talking about treasury bonds. Treasury bonds are just guaranteed money unless the government disappears. So a treasury bond, I put in $10 million. It becomes $10.5 million in X amount of years, as long as I don't touch it. As long as I don't touch it, I get that much money. If I touch it, I take the money and I don't get that money back. The bond comes out at a very, very small rate. But see, this is what I'm talking about when I talk about managing money at that level. Managing money at that level is not something we're used to. And because it's not something we're used to, I know that there are nuances that rich people and financial firms and people like that, they know these things. They know those nuances. They know how to do certain things that I don't know. And I'm not going to learn it instantly. Okay? And because I'm not going to learn it instantly, I would rather screw up a little bit of money at a time trying to figure it out than to take all of my money, screw it up, have to go bankrupt. Which is what I think happens with a lot of the individuals that take the lump sum. They take the lump sum and they try to manage it. They try to manage it, figure it out, and when they figure out that they screwed up, it's oops, I made a mistake. But it's oops, you made a mistake with all of your money.
I've seen how you handle your
Versus, oh, I lost $10 million. That's okay. Next year I get 10 million more. That's the difference for me. That's the difference. It's a safety net. And so that's my reason. The only reason I'm doing annuity, and I ain't gonna deny, is because I want a safety net. I want to be able to say, I didn't mess up. I'm good. That's my only thing. But I'm gonna let all we did yet manage your own money. Y'all can manage your own money. This is what I want, Rune. This is what I want. If you win the lottery, I don't want much. Just pay off my house. Just pay off what's left on my house. That's it. And I'll give you the same option I gave one of my friends at work. She was sitting there. She's look, if you go bankrupt, paying off my house, you will always have a place to put your head. You can put your head down on my couch or downstairs in the guest room for 2 months. Then you got to get out. She was sitting there. She was like, "What? 2 months?" She was like, 2 months. What do you mean 2 months? I paid your house off. I said, "Yep." And what you're doing is you're getting a space to put your head for the rest of your life. For 2 months for the rest of your life, for 2 months, you'll be able to say, "Okay, I screwed up. What do I need to do to be able to survive?" That's what you get. That's what you're getting from me. You getting that ability to be like, "Hey."
Let's see. Buried in the slums. She told me. Of
I
the
mean,
rules
fair.
against- They were the same.
Now that was another thing. I got a friend, Cathras. We play games and stuff like that. I've known him for like 20 some odd years. I remember telling him that I wanted that my retirement plan for the lottery is when my friend wins, I will have, I'm gonna have my house paid off. And he was sitting there and he was like, "No, that's a terrible plan." And I was like, "What do you mean that's a terrible plan?" He was like, "No, nobody's gonna give you money when when they win the lottery." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, well, that's my plan, and I'm gonna stick with it because I don't play the lottery because I believe it's actually a waste of money. Because statistically, I could get hit with lightning twice before I could I win the lottery. So, but I was telling him this, right? He was telling me that I was crazy. There's no way that I need to do things different, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, he says so, but I'm just that's my plan, right? And then at another time we were discussing what we would do with lottery winnings, right? And his statement, which had me laughing, and he was like, "Why are you laughing?" So I said, "What did you just say?" He's like, "I would do this." So one of the things that he had said he would do if he won the lottery was he would find some land, find a place to live, and then he would buy up the surrounding housing land that's near him, and he'd have all of his friends come live around him and everything like that, right? Hey, what's up, Sarah Lee? So I sat there and I started laughing, and he was like, "What you laughing at?" I said, "You just told me you pay off my house." And he was like, "What? No, I didn't. I wouldn't pay off your house." I said, "Hey, look, if you're giving me a house to live next to you, am I paying a mortgage?" He's like, "No." So in other words, you're paying off my house. He was like, "Oh man." I was like, "Yep. My retirement plan is still in effect. It's still in effect. He's gonna win the lottery and pay off my house."
I cannot fear.
Three. No. When she told me it'd take the courage of a Ruby Nagasa, I didn't expect this.
But that's actually a pretty funny thing. That's a pretty funny thing. What time is it? Oh my gosh. Oh, it is lunchtime. It's past lunchtime, actually. We're doing pretty good. Oh, by the way, everybody, just in case y'all didn't realize, I got my cloak. I got my cloak. I played PoE 2. I made it through. I got out of Act 1. I got out of Act 1. I made it. I made it. I made it.
I cannot. I cannot do that.
Look at that. Look at that.
This square's I wish I'd seen it. I can only imagine how.
Build
I
looking
cannot
strong.
do-
Yes. All my builds look strong till I get one shot. Oh, well, not really one shot. Until I actually get killed. Well, hold up. That last one was a one shot. I ain't gonna deny it. That was my fault. I'm not even gonna deny that was my fault. It was a one shot because it was a critical. It was a critical, and it took up more than I actually had in health and energy shield ward.
I cannot do that.
The only things that can kill you in LE in a one shot, I believe, is criticals. And you have all the abilities to stop a critical. All you have to do is just get get critical strike avoidance above 100%. That's it. That's all you gotta do. It's like, and you can even craft for it. You can craft for it. You can look for it. Everything. Did I do it? I had a 23% for crit avoidance, and that dude hit me. Well, other things hit me first, I think. Then he hit me. And his damage actually was more than, it would have still been more than what I had in both, but
cannot do that.
Hidden so close. A word of advice. Don't talk about the diamond matrons.
Almost there, guys. Almost there. We're close to almost the last. We're almost to the last part. We're doing so good. Let me go ahead and talk to this lady real quick.
I knew that the idea that when you have until we meet again, traveler.
Right there. I think we should take back a couple of points, just respec back. Because I think there was a. Yep, this is the one. This is the one. Yeah, we gotta take point back. Take point. We gotta go to the end of time, baby. The end of time. Woo.
Hello, traveler.
There we go. Gonna grab some more points there. This is gonna need to be. We can do maximum charges here because I definitely want to get some more charges. We're gonna get 4 charges before we start trying to get increase the base critical. Then we're going to multiplier, and we're gonna go charges. Then we're gonna go crit, and then we're gonna do this one. That'll give us the best damage output configuration that we can for the at the time. Okay, guys, I am going to have to go because I got to use the bathroom. I'm going to have to go. I will talk to you guys later. We've been on for not that much. We've only been on for like 3.5 hours. But I will be back tonight, I think, and hopefully I'll be much higher level than I am right now. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out, and I hope this helps you with your quest for ultimate power. Talk to you later. Peace.